ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्री राम जय जय राम। 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 जय जय राम। जय जय राम। ओम रामाय रामभद्राय रामचंद्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। अतुलितबलधामं हेमशैलाभदेहं दनुजवनकृशानुं ज्ञानिनामग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। ओम श्री हनुमते नमः। ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ओम श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम, सुप्रभातम। We will chant the first shloka and then the doha also. नवधा भगति कहऊँ तो ही पाही सावधान सुनु धरु मन माही। प्रथम भगति संतन कर संगा दूसरी रति मम कथा प्रसंगा। गुरुपद पंकज सेवा तीसरी भगति अमान। चौथी भगति मम गुणगण करई कपट तजिगान। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बोलो भय सब संतन की जय। बिनु सत्संग विवेक न होई राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई। से तुलसीदास जी। बिनु सत्संग without satsanga, viveka is not possible. For the simple reason, right from our childhood, we have been trained to look outside. Therefore, it requires a different kind of person and atmosphere for the mind to be again trained to look within. And this can happen only in satsang. That is why, as I started earlier, Tulsi Ramayan, Adhyatma Ramayan and Bhagavatam, when they start talking about the Navadha Bhakti, the first Prathama Bhakti, Santana Karisanga, and in Bhagavatam, Shravanam. Therefore, Satsanga Mahima is glorified in all scriptures. Satsanga Mahima is glorified in all scriptures because that is the first step towards the path of the very purpose of life. Therefore, one has to take recourse to satsang. Therefore, Acharya said, Prathama Bhagati Santana Karisanga. One has to associate with a Santa Purusha. What kind of association? We will see. In the first form of bhakti, association with the Acharya is at the intellectual level, learning the Shastra. That is the purpose of contact with a Mahatma. At the intellectual level, I come to learn the knowledge, gain the knowledge through the teachings of the Mahatma from the Shastra. Shastreshu Guruvakyeshu Satya Buddhi Avadharana Sa Shraddha. With Shraddha. Shraddha of what? Total confidence in the Shastra and the teacher. This is the first step. But Swamiji, all are not capable of intellectually practicing this form of bhakti. Then Acharya says, don't worry, I'll give you the second one. What is the second one? Dusari rati mama katha prasanga. The second form of bhakti is katha prasanga rati. Rati meaning what? Revel. In what? In the stories of the Lord. In our scriptures, there is so much importance given to Katha. Why is it so? In our childhood, when we were very small babies, we have been given that practice of storytelling. The grandmother or the grandfather, sometimes earlier, past tense, these days mothers and fathers don't tell, very rarely, exception sustained. They tell stories to put the child to sleep. Even though the child goes to sleep listening to the story, at that time the child, even otherwise children have no much occupation, so their mind is very clean. At that time, the child listens carefully and goes to sleep, no doubt. But that careful listening, that story gets into the very subconscious level of the child. With reference to child, it is understandable. About elders, in fact, I am sure all of you will agree, all of us at any age do love stories. The parents would bring lot of books, comics, like Amar Chitrakatha, Tinkle, etc. they bring. In fact, the mother sit and read. The grandmother sit and, open the book, Amar Chitrakatha. Those stories also have lot of values. Values, when we give directly, we may accept it at that particular period of time, but it goes above our head later, we even forget it. We may forget the sentence given, we may forget the form of the sentence. But a story is such a beautiful thing that we will never forget. Therefore, stories take a very important part of our life. Why? Let me tell you about myself. I became a very great Rama Bhakta because of one story, which drew me instantly towards Bhagavan. Ramchandra ji, Sita ji, Lakshman ji, and Guha, the chieftain of Shringaveripura, all of them come to the river, Ganga river bed. There they have to cross the river. When they had to cross the river, Guha, the chieftain, calls this boatman called Kevat. Kevat is called to take all of them to the other shore. Very beautiful episode in Ramayana. Kevat is called, and the Kevat would not come. Magi navan Kevat ana. Kevat na ana. He would not come. Why? Kahai tumar maramu mein jana. Kevat comes and says, Bhagavan, I know your secret. I know your secret, therefore I will not come and take my boat for you. All are wondering, what is the secret? Even Ramchandra ji is wondering, the best part. Guha is wondering why this Kevat is behaving like that. He is such a wonderful man. Lakshman, as usual, is getting restless. He is trying to hold the arrow properly now. Lakshman's, we have seen the behavior all through Ramayana. For him, Rama is everything. Anybody against Rama, he will be ready to fight. So, Lakshman is getting restless. Ramchandra is quiet, but he is wondering. He is looking at the face of Kevat. Guha tells Kevat. Kevat means boatman. There is no name otherwise given. Kevat says, I know his secret, I will not come. What is that secret? There is nothing. You come, we have to go to the other shore. Urgently, come. He says, no. Charan kamal raju kahu sabu kahai, manusha karani mori kachu ahai. Everybody is telling, what? If Ramchandra ji's charana sparsha, if it happens, there will be a miracle. Something happens. There will be a miracle, therefore I will not make him touch or get into my boat. Chuvata sila bhai nari sahai. Chuvata shila. He touched the stone and that stone became a nari. Think. If a hard stone can become a nari, what to talk of my soft boat? Huh? And now he says, if the boat turns to an Ari, look at my condition. Point number one, I already have a wife. And point number two, I have only one boat. In case this boat turns into an Ari, then I will have two wives. And I will not have the boat because boat has turned into an Ari. Ehi pratipalamu sabu parivaru. With this boat alone, I am taking care of my wife. My parivaru, wife and children. And if this boat turns into an Ari, I might get one more lady, but the boat will go. Earlier I had only one person to take care, one wife to take care. Now I will have two wives to take care without the boat. What will I do? Nahi janavu kachu avaru kabaru. I don't even know any other profession. Kabaru means profession. I don't know any other profession. And with two women, what can I do? Then Ahalya, when she turned out as a Nari from the stone, Gautama Rishi came and took her away. And let us suppose somebody else, because of Shapa, she became a boat or whatever, and then she turns to an Ari, and then somebody comes and takes her away. I lose the woman also, I lose the boat also. What will I do for my life? Therefore, I will not take Ramchandraji in the boat. Lakshmana was getting very restless. Guha is trying to convince him. Like how our Indian government is trying to convince the farmers, nothing will happen. Guha is trying to convince our Kevat, nothing like that will happen. Ramchandraji is the Bhagavan. He will not turn the boat into an Ari, etc. You don't worry about that. You please take us to the other shore. He would not listen. Lakshmana is now getting a little restless. This Kevat is observing Lakshmana getting restless. Therefore he says, Bhagavan, I will give you one option. What is that option? You instruct me to wash your feet properly, and then I will take you into the boat. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raja Nija Manu Mukuru Sudhari. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raja. We see in Hanuman Chalisa, the dust of the feet of the Guru can be the best solution to clean the mirror of my mind. Meaning what? The dust of the Guru is so important, so powerful. And what to talk of Bhagavan's feet's dust? So he says, I will first wash Bhagavan's feet. There is a story, another story in a story. Earlier, this Kevat wanted to touch Bhagavan's feet. Lakshmanji and Mahalakshmi, Bhagavan means Vishnu Bhagavan there. Lakshmanji and Mata Lakshmiji would not allow anybody else to touch. Similarly here, now that particular bird, some bird they say, and that bird has come as Kevat. Now he is demanding what? They will not allow if I want to touch. Therefore, you instruct me to touch your feet. When you ask me to wash your feet, then nobody can obstruct. Therefore, you tell me, Bhagavan, then I will wash your feet. Only then I will see that all the dust is removed. Only then I will let you inside my boat. You know, this is another beautiful way of expressing his love towards Bhagavan. He is a great bhakta of Bhagavan. You will have some people, in fact, they will look very rigid, they will look very strong, they will look very harsh sometimes, but the inner heart will be so soft, with so much of love and care. Kevat, because of his profession, even his body has become tight and rigid and everything, but at the same time, his heart is very, very soft, very, very mridu. And it is fully filled with the love for Bhagavan. Look at this very way he chooses to touch the feet of Bhagavan and offer his Pada Puja to Bhagavan. In a different way. But then he wants to touch the feet of Bhagavan. And Bhagavan is very, 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 very happy. Why? Bhagavan knows his heart. The others won't. How many times we tell in our own homes, you never understand me. Why? Because to understand the heart of somebody, we must have extreme love for that person. Unconditional love for that person. Non-demanding love for that person. Anticipating nothing. Asking nothing. In spite of what the other person is, the person should love. Only then you will come to understand the true heart of the person. Otherwise, commonly we find everyone brands and labels the other person. And in the process, a lot of disturbance comes to the mind. Param Pujya Gurudev would say, faults become thick when love is thin. When that unconditional love to another person is absolutely exercised, whatever may happen, my love towards the other person should never decrease. Only such a person can understand the pure heart of the other one. Therefore, here is a very beautiful incident where Bhagavan accepts the limitations of all his bhaktas, and behind that he sees the pure heart. Kevat is such a pure personality, is filled with love for Bhagavan, that only Bhagavan can see that love. Neither Guha, nor Lakshmana, nor even Sita ji could see that love which is hidden in the heart of Kevat. And then the Kevat insists, पद कमल धोई चढ़ाई नाव ननाथ उतराई चहौ मोहि राम रावुर आन दशरथ सपथ सब साची कहौ. He says, Hey Rama, you tell me, pada kamala dhoi, please allow me to wash your lotus feet. And while the others were wondering, while the Lakshmanji was even getting restless, Bhagavan very beautifully, now see how Tulsidas ji writes, Kripa Sindhu bole musukai. Kripa Sindhu, the Lord who is an ocean of compassion, embodiment of compassion. Kripa Sindhu. Bole Musukai. It's a very beautiful word. Musukai means with a very interesting understanding, with lot of inner joy. Musukai, he smiled. Soi karu jahi tava nav jai. Soi karu. Fine. Kevat, do what you want. Now that the Bhagavan has told Kevat to wash the feet, Lakshmanji cannot interfere. Sita ji also understands the love of Kevat. After all, she is the mother. Bhagavan and Sita ji smile with so much of joy, and the love towards Kevat becomes multifold in them. And Kevat comes and washes the feet with so much of love. Now there also look at the love of Kevat. His hut is somewhere a little at the top. If you can little dramatize, it is there at the top. He calls his wife, whatever name. The name is not mentioned anywhere. He calls his wife and he says, please bring one patra to wash Bhagavan's feet and water also. So she immediately goes. Then and all, we did not have this beautiful shining etc. Whatever patram she got, she picked up, and in one small pot she took the water and she was about to start. He shouted, no, not that vessel. Bring that wooden vessel in which you make the dough for chapati. So she goes and brings that. Why is it so? Those days, the chapati dough was prepared in a wooden vessel. Why is it so? In case there is excess water, the wooden vessel would absorb that excess water. And in case there is a little lesser water, it provides that water and makes that dough very much, perfect for making the rotis. At that time, Kevat could think, what? I am going to wash Bhagavan's feet. When the water of Bhagavan's feet is absorbed by the vessel on which I prepare chapati, every day my chapati will become the prasad of Bhagavan. Think. And she brings. When she brings that vessel in which they make chapati dough, he keeps that, lifts Bhagavan's feet and keeps it on that, and then with all love, she pours the water and he washes the feet of Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra ji. And after washing, she must have brought one cloth also. He wipes the feet, keeps it back, and that water with which he washes Bhagavan's feet, he takes it as a tirtha. He gives it to his wife as a tirtha. He also gives guha, and then he takes that aside, and then he says, now we can go. Look at that love, that innocent, that pure love which he has for Bhagavan. This only Bhagavan could understand. Our love for Bhagavan also is understood by Bhagavan. But what? What is our love for Bhagavan? Think. Bhagavan never listens to me, Swamiji. He never looks at me. He never understands me. We only complain. But we are not yet ready For Bhagavan's kripa, we must develop that yogyata for Ashirvadam. When we develop the yogyata for Ashirvadam, Bhagavan's Ashirvadam is eternal. Think. Look at this Kevat. He has not learned, he is not an illiterate person, he has not gone to a school. He doesn't know anything. As he rightly said, I have no other kabaru, I have no other profession, I don't know anything other than rowing a boat. But look at that heart he has. Then all of them sit in the boat and then they cross the river. On the other side of the river, when they get down, the one who travels must pay something to the boatman. Rama has nothing to give, only his clothes, which is carried by Sita ji. So he is wondering what to do now, what to give him. Look at Sita ji. She understands the mind and the heart of Bhagavan. She understands that Bhagavan wants to give something to the boatman for his work of bringing them to the other shore. And she also knows there is nothing in Bhagavan's hands to be given. She has been wearing her jewels. So she removes her ring. And she does not, give it directly to Kevat. She gives the ring to Bhagavan. And says, and not even says in fact, she probably gives it and signs with her eyes, please give this to him. Ramchandra ji looks at Sita ji. How beautiful is her heart. How wonderful. Even without saying anything, she understands my heart. That is how it is, you see. And he takes that ring and with all joy, with all love, he offers it to Kevat. And Kevat never, again, he does not accept. Ramchandra ji says, this is your profession. In your profession, without taking something, how will you survive? Please take this. Kevat would not take. He says, no. Arey Baba, I am giving it to you with love. You take it. Kevat says, no. I cannot take anything from a person of the same profession. Everybody is wondering. Sita ji is also looking at him. Same profession? Lakshman ji is getting again wild. How dare he calls Ramchandra ji of the same profession? He is the Raja of Ayodhya. He is the Bhagavan himself. And how can you say that he is of the same profession? Guha is also wonderstruck. How can a Kevat talk like this to the Raja? But Bhagavan is Bhagavan, you know. Bhagavan understands. Why? Kevat is taking people from this shore to the other shore of the river. In this case, it is Ganga. In case of Bhagavan Ramchandra ji, he takes one from the shore of samsara to the other shore of Jivan Mukti. Therefore, from that standpoint, both are Kevat. While this Kevat takes physically people to the other shore, Bhagavan takes people from samsara, relieves them of the bondage and takes them to the highest ever achievable, please note, achievable goal, which is Jivan Mukti. Therefore, with that, please note, Kevat is not educated, Kevat is not a literate person, but out of his own pure heart, he could see it. And then he says, both of us are boatmen only, therefore, how can I take money from you? I cannot take. Ramchandraji was filled with so much of emotions. But then he said, my dear, it is okay. You take this as my gift to you. Out of my love, I am giving it to you. You take. But you take, na. I want to give you. Out of that love, you have done this. Out of the love I have for you, I want to give this. Please accept. Sita ji was almost in tears because she could see that love between Bhagavan and Bhakta and how both of them are fighting. Bhagavan is also fighting in the sense what? Both of them are trying to impress the other person and give to the other. In the world, we only say we love others, but in the process, we only want to gather, we only want to get, we only want to receive, we want to aggrandize others. This is our kind of love. Whereas there, Bhagavan also wants to give and Bhakta also wants to give. Such a beautiful scene there. Lakshmanji is become quiet. Guha is also spellbound. Sita ji is overwhelmed with emotion. And Ramchandraji and Kevat, both of them, they don't know how to convince the other. Finally, Bhakta wins, Bhakta wins. Kevat says, Bhagavan, if you want to insist on me taking, then please do one thing. After you go and finish your Vanavasa of 14 years, while you come back, I will take you from that shore to this shore. Once I bring you back to this shore on your way to Ayodhya, at that time, whatever you give, I will accept. Return journey ticket booking was done from then. The first person who discovered or invented return journey was Kevat. He booked Ramchandraji's return journey also. And Bhagavan also did not know what to do. Finally, Bhagavan, Bhagavan is so beautiful. In fact, they say Bhakta has to surrender to Bhagavan. But Bhagavan surrenders himself to Bhakta. How many of us know? Later, another incident we find, Hanumanji, after coming back, is standing. Ramchandraji asks him, what can I give you? Whatever I give you is nothing. Hanumanji says, what can you give me? I don't want anything. I have you. What else do I have? And Bhagavan offers himself to Hanumanji and says, I have no other thing to give, therefore I will give myself to you. And he embraces Hanumanji. Now see, Bhagavan is ready to help the Bhakta, and all he expects is a pure heart and a pure mind. That's all he wants. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyupahritam ashnami prayatatmana. Bhagavad Gita says, with love, with bhakti, devotion, whatever you give, I will take. But it must be with love, unconditional love. How wonderful. The katha here brings us how love for Bhagavan can bring Bhagavan himself to us. This is the second form of bhakti. Dusari bhagati, dusari rati, mama katha prasanga. The second form of love is katha, stories. With this, we will conclude today. We will continue tomorrow. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.